2,400 American military and civilian personnel with more than 1,000 injured, and it launched us into World War II. This is also the 80th year anniversary of that fateful day. Much has changed since that day. Survivors have faded away, their families have faded, and the movies glorifying war, which came out in the 50s and 60s, have faded. But the memory never fades. So let us remember the many who gave and sacrificed their lives in defense of our country. Let us start the program with a posting of the colors, which will be conducted again by the Marine Corps League Post 1775 out of Oakland, New Jersey, led by Bob Swain. As the colors come forward to show respect, we have a choice. Either a hand salute, okay, for the military or veterans, or right hand over the breast. Please stand. March on the colors.
Good morning, students. How are you? All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. Today we gather, most appropriately, aboard the historic Battleship New Jersey, which was launched on this very day in 1942, just 1 year after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. Today, 8 decades later, we honor and remember the 2,403 service members and civilians who were killed during the attack on this day 80 years ago. Another 1,178 people were injured, 2 Navy battleships sank, and 188 aircraft were destroyed. As a nation, it is our duty and responsibility to remember the service and sacrifice so many demonstrated with the courage under fire. We are mindful that this chapter in our nation's history symbolizes the bravery of a generation of veterans that sacrificed so much. This morning we gather not only to remember Pearl Harbor, but to understand the importance of never forgetting our history and the price of war. As a Gold Star mother, I understand the pain of military service and sacrifice. I understand that, like my son, many of those killed at Pearl Harbor were young men who raised their hand to defend their nation and barely had entered adulthood. I also sadly understand that whether families were notified by telegram, a phone call, a knock on the door, the devastation is all the same. It is a devastation that lasts not just in the years to follow, but for generations. These young men were sons, brothers, fathers, and husbands. They are a branch of a family tree that no longer continues to grow and should never be forgotten. This morning, I also have the privilege and honor to award a most deserving individual, the Reverend Peter A. Molnar Veteran Service Award. The award is named for Reverend Peter Molnar, known as Padre in the veterans community, who died on October 19, 2012, after decades of devotion to his fellow service members. In Vietnam, he served as a chaplain, and after returning to the States, he pursued a military career in active reserve and National Guard units, earning the rank of colonel. In his civilian capacity, Reverend Molnar worked as a mental health administrator for Camden County for 17 years, plus served as an assistant hospital administrator and social worker for the Veterans Affairs Office until retiring from government. Following Reverend Molnar's death 10 years ago, Congressman Rob Andrews created the award and designed the medal to honor a resident of Camden and Gloucester County who has dedicated his life to supporting veterans both locally and within the state. Within the New Jersey veteran community, like a rock star who is known by one name, All you have to say is Bernie, and everyone knows who you are talking about. And when you say Bernie, everyone says the same thing. I love him. He's great. Sorry, Sue. I hope you're not the jealous type. You're chuckling as...
Did you reach?
Detail, freestyle, arms. For arms. Now face.